Hello, I'm Steph from iDriver Classic and we're back with Speedy the Standard 10. Now I know many of you have been enjoying the videos so far and we've recently talked about rot, we've talked about brakes and all sorts of other things. And today we're going to talk about, why the windscreen isn't in. So first of all, I'll give you a bit of backstory. One of the first things that I noticed when the car turned up, oh, by the way, we're not in some sort of war zone, by the way, it's approaching bonfire night. And so obviously everyone's decided fireworks are tonight. Anyway, one of the first things that I noticed was that the front screen was letting so much water in. There was so much water inside the car when I got it. And I thought, you know what? That is going to be why the carpets are wet, and that is going to be why the floors have rotted out. And it's like that poem, you know, the one that says, "For the want of a nail, a battle was lost." Sometimes really small problems can end up causing insurmountable problems that add hundreds or thousands of pounds to your bill. So by sorting this front screen and stopping the water from getting inside the car, we're going to stop the carpets getting wet again, and we're going to stop the new floors from rotting out. It seems like such a small job, and it seems like such a small thing to do, but it is so very important. Now I know this isn't safety critical, and we've been focusing on the safety critical stuff, but for me this is critical because it's going to stop the degradation of the car accelerating at a rapid pace, because it's going to be spending a lot of time outside. Now as you can see here, we replaced the front, we took out the front screen, and I'm going to show you a bit of footage over the top. What we did was got these tools, which I don't know what they're called, but essentially they're like little crowbar type things, and we started bending the rubber back. Now we were in a really great position at this point because the rubber was so perished and so far gone that it really didn't take too much jimmying to get that out and push it out. Now all that was holding this screen in was that old rubber, but because it had perished, it expanded, there was a lot of play in it, which made it quite easy for us to get the screen out. We've then put the screen off to one side, and in today's video you're going to see us fit the new one. Now I've not done one of these for ages, and the last time I did it was a Morris Minor, and the reason I did it was because when I was at uni somebody smashed all my windows, so it was a steep learning experience and I couldn't afford a new rubber, so I sat there with a screwdriver and I ran it all the inside of where the glass had been, and I got out all the broken glass and then swept it up and had to put a new screen in. Now this one is going to be a little bit different, so I'm going to show you. This one here is actually, so the Morris Minor one comes just as like a fixed unit like that, if you know what I mean, whereas this one has got a brake in. Now the brake for the last one was over in that corner. I don't know if that's right or not, because I don't have a reference point as a car. However, it seemed to work fine before. We're going to get this in, and if you are watching this and you're trying to do it to your own standard, I got this from the Club Spares, and I think this was about £30 minus VAT, so what's that, about 36 quid? It wasn't expensive at all, and it came within the week. So if you need to do it on yours, the Club Spares might be a good starting point. Right, I've got no idea what I'm doing with this, or a very vague idea, so I'm going to actually get some advice from Paul at where we start off with. Paul, as these fireworks rain down upon us, do you want to talk about what we're going to be doing with this rubber?
Are you filming me now?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I don't know yet. I'm trying to work it out.
Right, okay, great.
Because we don't have any kind of manual for this car or anything, any kind of instructions. So we're going to struggle.
Right, I've got a question for you, Paul. How does that feel after a lifetime of minis where everything is so well documented, you know where you are with everything? Does it excite you, or do you think, oh no?
Well, you just kind of think, somebody else needs to do it, so surely we can manage it after all the messing about we've done before. So we'll see. We'll see.
We've just been cleaning the screen, you can see down there. Paul's experimenting with a few bits. But here's the really weird thing. We have no reference point for this whatsoever. So we have the original rubber that was in the screen, so we know how that went in. However, it is worth mentioning it's not in any books, it's not online, it's not on YouTube. If someone else has done this, why have you not filmed it? Why have you not written about it? Can't find it anywhere, but someone must have done it at some point, because that wasn't the original screen rubber. So I guess now we're just going to have to trial and error a few different bits to work out how we do it. It's not how the screen fits in the rubber, it's how you then go from the rubber getting into the body of the car, if that makes sense. So we're just going to have a little play about with ideas, but when we know, we're going to show you how we've done it.
Well, that ain't going to work for a start.
Is it not?
No. That's not the way to do that.
Oh, are you sure?
I'm pretty sure, yeah, because it
No,
Can-
hold on, look.
Are you in?
Yes. You just have to get your finger and like push it just so gently. And it kind of hooks it back in. Watch out for that. It does do it.
Will it go? Because
Yeah,
I've got to
look,
get this. Are you? All right, yeah.
The rubber's
okay.
quite malleable. Oh, malleable. What's a word?
Look at you.
I know.
Brilliant.
It's in on this corner, so I think we just gently feed it in all the way. But is it in on the other side?
Should we use one of these?
Hold on. No. Hold on.
I think it probably wants to go in.
Do you reckon top down or bottom fed
Well,
in?
gravity is our friend. I think we'll start at the bottom.
Okay. Should we take it out and have another go? Is that in? Hold on. No. It's kind of gone in, but not. We're getting the same sort of fit as they were with the original screen. Is that the rubber? Is it? But is it? 'Cause it's, sorry, I must be so annoying just chatting to you as we're trying to do this.
It's all right.
See, look, it does go in.
Yeah, it will go. I think it will.
How would you do it on a Mini?
But you would put the screen into the rubber. You put the rubber on the car and then put the screen in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And you don't think that'll work for this?
No.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it won't. But I think we might get this.
Because for anybody who hasn't tried it before, a Morris Minor, you need that string.
Yeah, we could string this in maybe, but I don't really see it working.
And I remember the back window I fitted by a friend pushing on one side and me pushing my feet on the other, laid on the seats. God.
It's working. I might just take them off.
Oh, okay, I'm just tripping. Oh my God, have I just put my foot through the radiator? Hold on.
That would.
Oh, that will just send me over the
No,
edge,
it's
I
all
think.
right.
No, it's okay.
Are we not swearing, are we?
No, we're not swearing.
No, good, that's good. I wasn't going to.
Yes, you were.
Right.
The amount that I wanted to swear. Tonight, it's okay.
Yeah.
Is that round the right way? Yeah. Is it? Hold on. Where's that circle? Oh, hold on. For anybody watching at home, when I refer to where's that circle, I mean the tax disc holder that we took off. Because you know what I'm like? I'm such a loser for originality. I was like, that tax disc holder isn't original. Let's have that off. Just some early 2000s thing. I thought, I'm having that off.
Right.
I think a bit of brute force. It's these corners. That are yeah.
Are you happy with your side?
No, I'm not. Look, it's like catching on here.
Yeah, I think what we've got to do next is flick the rubber around the body on the inside.
Right, okay.
Which we may need some. We made a little hook for that. Let's get one.
Because it's still quite raised at the top. I bet you're all watching this and thinking, what on earth is going on? I too am also thinking, what on earth is going on? So it's okay. I feel like I've spoken to so many people that had these, but then you ask a question and no one seems to know the answer. I know watching this it must look like I'm faffing about. I'm not. I'm probably more cautious than I need to be with glass. Here, Paul, at least when you're doing the front screen, you have to do the back as well.
That's the next instalment.
No, the back screen's all right, actually. And there isn't any water across. Is there? No trace of it.
There was plenty of water in them back footwells.
Yeah, but it's coming through the front. It's coming through the front, because if there was water coming through the back, it would have been across the back parcel
Yeah.
as well. And it's not. So
Could
anyway,
you
sorry,
just
probably being an
could you
absolute
just
faffer.
push on?
Yeah, so what
that,
tool? Paul,
as
if
I-
somebody desperate is watching this at home, they're trying to do it themselves, what tool are you using inside?
I'm using a little pick tool
Yeah. Oh.
very carefully.
Oh, look, it's pulling it through. It's like magic. Oh, Paul, this is brilliant. Thanks.
We're not there yet.
No, but I thought a little bit of enthusiasm might really drive the job on. Which side do you want me to push on? You need to
Push as close as you can to there.
Okay.
And then,
How's that?
right, I think I'm going to have to come and get a bit more of it in down here, I think.
Okay. I realised watching this back that this video felt like utter chaos as we were doing it, because I felt like, well, I always feel like we don't really script anything. We just go with it so you can see what we're doing. So if you are watching this video in the hope of fitting a screen to maybe your standard 8 or your standard 10, well, let me give you some practical advice. First of all, you want to remove the screen. Second of all, you then want to clean all the glass so there's no debris on it and there's nothing which could potentially stop the rubber from sticking to the screen. We then took the screen rubber, which came at a length which wasn't short enough to just go straight round, so we had to cut it to size. And what we did was we fitted it round the screen. We made sure that it was a tight fit all the way round. We took it round, we marked it with a pen, and then Paul cut it. Now, his original plan was to glue the two ends together, but that didn't go quite to plan. So what we then did was we carried it over to the car. We then slotted it into place. So it gently fitted, so it fitted into what I believe is called the aperture. And then we had to try and get the rubber to fit. Now, there was an awful lot of faffing about before we essentially realised that the best way to do it probably would have been with a nylon string, but we didn't feel like that was maybe the best approach at the time. Remember, this is all about discovery. What we then decided to do was to take the tools and to gently coax the rubber into place. Now remember, I'm telling you something very obvious here, you're messing around with glass and I didn't have a spare glass, which might explain for some of you why I'm probably a lot more timid than many of you seasoned aficionados out there might be. However, look, I knew that I didn't have the time to wait for a new screen, so I thought, well, better to be careful. Now, what we did was we knew that we had to gently ease it in behind and in front. So what I mean by that is internally and externally. And we used this tool and we gently coaxed it over the body of the car. Now, at first it looked like it would be quite pronounced on the outside, but actually I figured out that I only needed to coax a little bit over and the majority of the rubber would then sit inside the car. And this took a little bit of faffing around to fully realise. We had to gently coax it in. Now, if you're doing this yourself, I would advise that you start along the top, so on the roof of the car, and then down onto the sides, and then down along the bottom before easing the corners in. You don't go in what I would have considered the most rational way, in the way that you usually do it with the nylon string, which is you feed it as you go. You wanted to do top, sides and bottom. That really worked for us and it meant that we got a nice fit. Now you'll be able to see here, as I show you for the grand reveal, that when we got it all in place and we allowed about 30 minutes for this, it looked like a really smart fit. You'll see there that there's still a little bit of a gap, but I had a look at some pictures online and this seemed to be, well, standard without any sort of pun. Right, this is exciting stuff. The screen rubber is in, the screen is back in, and it looks like those leaky wet days are well behind us. Paul, you've never done one of these screens before. Originally, you were going to glue the screen rubber and then hoy it all in as one. What did you end up doing in the end?
We didn't have any glue, so we had to put it on the windscreen. And basically between the pair of us, we squeezed it into the aperture, and then we could hook the rubber over the inside of the screen aperture, and then push this one in. And to be honest, it was quite easy.
What tools would you tell people to get hold of? If this is called a handy remover, by the way, we were talking about this earlier. So you need the handy remover. And what was that other little thing that you were using?
I was just using a mechanic's pick, a hooked pick, which is a bit of a risk if you're not used to using those because they're very sharp and it could easily have ripped the rubber. But it was just quite useful just for me to get started with the hooking. But once you got a little bit of a lip of the rubber over, you could run that in the groove and it would just pull it round. I mean, we've got a workshop full of tools that we can rummage around and try and find the right thing for the job, but at home you wouldn't be able to do it without something like this.
If you don't have these tools, you can probably find something at home that you can try and shoehorn it in with. But a lot of these things are only a few pounds on eBay and they're tools that you use again. So in terms of cost per use, they're actually quite a good thing to have. How much are those plastic things? A few quid?
They're not going to be much, are they?
No.
I mean, we'll have found them as cheap as possible, I should think, but they'll be an eBay purchase.
Yeah, so it's nice and easy. Anyway, it's definitely a two-man job if you are going to do it with somebody else. I don't think it's a single-man job, do you?
Not if you've not done it before. I could probably manage it now, but I don't think I would have wanted to go into this
No.
on my own. I mean, I'd have probably left it for Ed to do if he was here.
Well, Ed's on holiday. We've done a good job. Hopefully, if Ed's watching this, you'll be very pleased that we've had a good go at this. So should we talk through what we've got left to do at this point in time before the NEC? We've got the floors. Ed's doing the floors when he gets back off holiday.
Yeah, Ed's got a headache with them. That's going to be the biggest job.
Yeah.
Then we've got the springs, all of the front brakes to replace completely.
Mm-hmm. Brake lines.
We need a floor to hang the exhaust off so that we can do that. So we'll be waiting on that.
Yeah.
The rear springs, the handbrake cable.
Yeah.
And the oil leak at the front and the engine mounts.
Okay.
So, what day are we on?
We're on Wednesday.
The time is?
I'll be driving away 7 days today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, we've got some work to do. Goodness knows what's coming next. But at least we're one step closer and I feel a lot more positive since yesterday. Was it yesterday that we filmed looking at the brakes? Because since we spoke, I've managed to sort the wheel cylinders on eBay. They're coming tomorrow. So they're doing an overnight job. And then I went to, is it Saftec today in Cleckheaton?
Yeah,
and
I got
the brakes. So we're pretty much there in terms of getting all the bits that we need, which is super. It's just a case of throwing it all back together. So I guess it'll be everybody chipping in. I'm sure we will.
We ought to mention that the brake shoes do want changing as an axle set. I don't think there's no reason why you would just replace half a set of brake shoes because the possibility of the balance being uneven and steering the car is not worth chancing. It's a safety critical item for what cost me, I think, the brake cylinders and the brakes on each side. The whole set has cost me £120 today for everything. And I think, what's £120 versus ending up in the ditch on the motorway? Not really that bad. Right, come on, let's get lights out, let's go home and we can all go and get some dinner. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a great time. I hope it's a little bit warmer than the workshop. But until next time, take care and drive safely.